Over the course of the last 3 days, as we've moved away from the results of the New York primary, I've been thinking about what can be done on both sides to stop the frontrunners, who I still believe there is a possibility of defeating them, even though it's a little bit different on both sides. And I've concluded that the best course of action that both Cruz and Sanders can take, Kasich's not even an option at this point, is to win this state, California. And I really believe the only way for them to do that is to campaign from now. That means just forget about Pennsylvania, for the most part anyway, and just spend all of their time over here. Because, well, that's what I think Sanders should do. And for Cruz, he should continue to campaign in Pennsylvania. See, the Democratic primary is proportional. And I'm assuming people who follow politics will be aware of this, but most people don't. So basically, that means that depending on how many people vote for you, accounts for how many delegates you get. So in the polls right now on the Democratic side, Sanders is actually slightly behind Clinton. And the best thing he would have to do to walk out of this and possibly have more than her is to win big. And I mean 60 to 40, no less. We could have better than that, but that's really what he needs to do to be able to close the gap in delegates that they have. And I'm not talking about the super delegates where they make it seem as if it's impossible and he might as well just drop out. And it's frustrating to me because the more and more people I talk to over here that I know are Democrats, the more of them tell me how much they support Clinton, and it just drives me crazy. I don't get it. I don't lose sleep over it either, and if it's meant to happen, it'll happen. I know I'm for him, so that's what matters to me. On the subject of the Republicans, theirs is different. Winner takes all. That being said, Cruz has been trailing, and I've noticed a recurring trend over here. It's Cruz and Trump fighting back for over here, and Trump stays in the lead most of the time. Whereas with Sanders and Clinton, it's the same thing. The front runner stays in the lead, and the person trying to unseat them in the state just can't seem to, for sure, knock them down. And what's worse is that we already know what's happening. What's going to come. Trump is going to come over here. He's going to come over here. He's going to give some nonsense speech, and everyone's going to say, "Oh yes, I support him. Definitely, yeah. I'm going to vote for him. I'm going to cast my ballot for the man." It's one of those things where I want to have faith in people, and I want to believe that they won't let me down. But it's very disturbing to me when you see that many people rallying behind someone that you just can't understand where their base of support would even come from. And this isn't meant to demonize people who are supporting of him or of Clinton. It's just, again, I'm going to keep saying I'm not big on either one of them. I think if they get to the general election, I might just stay at home because I really don't look forward to the day where I have to pick between someone who's bought by Wall Street, and if they make any change at all, it will be very minimal, almost to the point where I probably won't even notice it. And someone who, admittedly, is free of corruption, but has policies I could never get behind. I've been attacked on a lot of my material for not by supporters of his for not supporting his campaign and for not. And what I don't get is that I'll put out multiple videos talking about how I don't like his just anything relating to his campaign, those positions of his and the policies and the way he's talked about other people, which goes into the whole personal conduct thing. And they always come back. It's the same people over and over and over again. They'll just go on the videos. They'll go on the videos. They'll keep coming. They'll return. They'll just continue. And I don't get it. Because I don't like this candidate. Not again the candidate, not the person. And you still come to my channel and make noise over it. For what purpose? As if they're going to change my mind. And what's worse is I actually had a guy. Let me use him as an example of what people should do. Found one of my videos, tried to disagree with me, went back and forth a little bit, wrote me a few paragraphs, writing a little novel for me on my comment section. And I just said to him, you're not going to change my mind. This person is not someone I will ever support. And he gave up and hasn't come back since. And I'm glad for him because you are wasting your time when you comment on my video and either try to dissuade me from feeling a certain way about one of those two when it comes to voting for them, which I will never do. And not only that, but you also are backing yourself into a corner by thinking that you can go on here and just, oh, I'll call you an idiot. Now you'll be so upset. You're going to go and support my person. I don't get what the point of insulting me really does. I've had people come on, and it's mostly Trump supporters, so I'll let that let that be out there. And I still can never understand what that's supposed to. I don't see why, if someone disagrees with me on a candidate and they show willingness to back someone of the same party. People talk about not Clinton and Sanders, Trump and Cruz having similar positions on a number of issues. Okay, I've expressed multiple times I back Cruz over Trump, and that's still Republicans. So I can understand Republicans or conservatives doing that. I'm guessing it's mainly the group, and this is just my theory, of voters who really have no party affiliation, and they're so turned on by Trump that they just have this thing where they can't, not only can they not see why someone would not support him, but they almost want to act as if they can't be anything other than childish when it comes to trying to understand why people wouldn't be for him. So they'll go on videos of people talking about him and just start bashing them and insulting them. I went over to this guy that was defending Clinton's videos, and I didn't agree with what he was saying. But again, I didn't go over there and start, ranting and raving and talking about how stupid he was. Because I don't see that person as stupid. That's someone with a different opinion. I might think what they're saying is stupid, but I don't know him. I don't know the people who come on my videos. I have to assume the best, that they're just upset because someone doesn't like who they like. And if that's the case, they have another, this is again referring to the Trump supporters, must be millions of people to call idiots like that one person did on one of my videos, because none of us are going to support Trump ever. That's just as simple as that. People are talking about the landslide he's going to have against Clinton. I don't believe that. I can't. I will never. I think Cruz wouldn't even have that. I think he would have a decent chance, a much better chance than Trump. But I still don't believe it would be some massive Reagan-esque landslide. I think part of the reason is that when you have a history of talking about liberalism as if it's this plague, this nightmare, this destructive thing, it makes it hard for liberals such as myself to back you. I'm able to look past it for the most part because I know it's the whole politics thing, but when you do that, it's going to be difficult to ignore your previous rhetoric in the general election. I think he set himself up for that, but I still think it's possible to overcome it. And I don't know if Trump can overcome the comments he's made about women, the comments he's made about other candidates, the bankruptcies, the multiple bankruptcies, might I add, 4 of them in fact. There's so many things they can just pull out of him. You could say the same thing with Clinton, Whitewater, Lewinsky, who was treated horribly for something that she shouldn't have been. They did her wrong, but again, you have these different things that are going to come back and bite them when we get to the general election. That's why I really hope, again, I don't want either one of them to get there, but especially, I still kind of don't want Sanders versus Cruz because I don't see that as being realistic at this point. I think one of them will lose, but the other one can win. I just don't know who. It seems I'm more inclined to believe Sanders will, but again, we'll see. So thank you for watching and have a good day.